the EU's administrative branch, which never misses an opportunity to boycott institutions in Israel, has issued only a standard statement which reads, "The European Union will continue to follow this issue very closely." Okay, they don't want to play their cards right now, man. You know, it's too edgy right now. There's a lot to be lost, man, fucking with Russia. Especially when, you know, a lot of these guys know that the US is setting this all up. Okay, they're edgy, man. But they know what it's going to come down to. But they don't really want it, man. They don't really want that war with Russia, because they know it could be the end for them. They don't feel fully secure with NATO and the US, man, as protection. They don't feel fully secure, man, because Russia is still a big power. One that is not being taken lightly. It should not be taken lightly. That's why everyone's fucking double dutching, man. You know, because Russia has that power, and Russia do have strong allies, man. Okay, with China and Iran. Okay, they do have strong allies, man. Okay, so it's not an easy decision for these guys to make. Okay, but we've seen the weaker nations in Europe, ones that are more dependent on Russia, as much as they're dependent on the rest of the NATO nations. They're dependent on Russia for certain things too. Okay. In France, President Francois Hollande is loath to antagonize Putin ahead of the delivery of 2 highly sophisticated Mistral-class amphibious assault warships in a contract worth 1.2 billion euros. The first warship is to be delivered in October, and the French Navy is currently training Russian sailors how to use it at the port of Saint Nazaire. See, like, this deal's still going on, man. You know, last I heard about this deal got put on hold, man. But it got put on hold. It wasn't cancelled. It got put on hold. Okay, that's the last I heard about that business going on. Okay, but they're probably still training them how to use them damn things. Okay, because every nation is about fucking money, man. At the end of the day, you know, that's why, you know, they'll talk, you know, Britain and United States, they'll talk a good game, like, oh yeah, we're here to protect people and shit. We want to promote peace and all that shit. But at the same time, you're selling weapons to these fucking Arabs who are cutting off people's heads and shooting people in the head, man. Okay, your weapons. Send them to the Saudis, you know, with a totalitarian rulership. Okay, you know, but you don't say nothing bad against them, even though you're pro democracy and all that shit. So you talk good games and that, but obviously you act contrary, man, to your words. Okay, because you're the devil. Okay, the so-called white man's the damn devil. Okay, and it's all about money and power. Okay. So after the Russian invasion of Crimea in March 2014, the United States and several EU states criticised the deal, but others, including Germany, have defended France's decision to go ahead with the sale. Okay, I don't know when this article was released, because like I said, the last I heard of that deal, it got put on hold. Okay, but this is it's saying basically that it went through, but you know. In the wake of the MH17 disaster, however, a senior European diplomat told the EU Observer that France risks international ridicule if it goes ahead with the deal. Okay, true. Putin has pursued a policy of dividing the US and the European Union, as well as the EU internally. This incident, the air disaster, is going to make it harder for him and Holland to do this. Okay? So, you know, Russia's the spanner in the EU, right? Because the EU depends on Russia for certain things, even though it's not part of the EU itself. Okay, which is putting a spanner in the works of the US, man. That's why, you know, ultimately this is going to lead to war. Okay, either Russia's going to get their own way or the US is going to get their own way. You know, and you know, the US's pride is higher than Russia's, man. So they'll to save face, man. They'll go all out, man. They'll make shit happen just to save face. Okay, I believe that's another article here. Okay, I don't have to read these other ones because this is basically probably what they all say. But yeah, I'll read this one in a second. Okay. For now, France appears keen to keep talk of the air disaster separate from the arms deal. The most important priority right now is to shed light on what happened in this catastrophe. And French government officials said, we should not turn away from this subject in order to discuss some hypothetical consequences or to talk about subjects which are not really connected. In a rebuke of Merkel and other European leaders for their reluctance to confront Russia, British Prime Minister David Cameron said Europe must now respond robustly. Okay, so there's a few men that are flying the flag to fuck up Russia with sanctions and, you know, possibly war. Okay, but the majority of them don't really want to bring it to that level with Russia. Okay, so in a rebuke of Merkel and other, in a blistering article published by Sunday Times on July 20th, Cameron called the attack on MH17 a direct result of Russia destabilizing a sovereign state. Okay, but you know, US and England do it all the damn time. Violating its territorial integrity, back thuggish militias and train and army them. But it's okay when you want to go into Syria though and start aiding fucking crazy Arabs, man. And Obama's planning to go do that again, man. He's planning to blow up militants in Syria, okay? In someone else's backyard, man. They've been doing it in Afghanistan for the longest time, man. You know, but they don't care about Assad's, if they get the go-ahead, man. Because obviously Assad ain't going to give the go-ahead, ain't going to give permission. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so they're going to go in there without Assad's permission and blow up his land, man. Just to get some fucking ISIS, man. You know they're going to blow up his shit as well. Same thing happened to Gaddafi, man. They'll blow him up. They'll blow Assad up out of there, man. Okay, two birds with one stone kind of thing. Okay, but that'll upset Russia, man. So, you know, well, my advice would be to tread carefully, but at the same time, I want you to do it. You know, I want to see Russia fuck your shit up, man. Get this war kicked off, man. Says so Cameron added, for too long there has been a reluctance on part of too many European countries to face up to the implications of what is happening in eastern Ukraine. It is time to make our power, influence and resources count. Our economies are strong and growing in strength, and yet we sometimes behave as if we need Russia more than Russia needs us. Well, it's true. You do need Russia more than Russia needs you, man. Russia got China, man. Russia got them billion gooks to sell to, man. Russia don't need you. Okay, but you need Russia's gas and oil. You do need that. Okay, so yeah, it's true. Russia don't need you, man. You do need Russia more than Russia needs you. So it remains to be seen whether MH17 disaster will serve as a moment of moral and strategic clarity and cajole European leaders into confronting Russia's increasing bellicosity. More than 50% of the EU's total energy consumption in 2012 was imported from outside the EU, according to the most recent data compiled by Eurostat. The EU Statistics Agency, a large percentage of that imported energy originates in Russia. In 2012, some 33.7% of the EU's 28 imports of crude oil were from Russia, as were 32% of the bloc's imports of natural gas. The EU has made only half-hearted attempts to develop alternatives to its dependency on Russian oil and gas. The Nabucco pipeline, for example, was a plan to push gas from the Caspian Sea region into Central Europe by bypassing Russia and Ukraine. The project was shelved in 2013 after Moscow pressured southern European countries into supporting the rival South Stream pipeline, run by Gazprom, which is a majority owned by the Russian government. They've got a lockdown on this oil and gas, man. Okay. More recently, Israel decided to ship much of its natural gas to Egypt, further confounding efforts to lessen EU dependence on Russian resources. Energy analysis say the failures point to a lack of a common EU energy policy, which means that Russia is likely to remain Europe's chief natural gas supplier well beyond 2020. Okay, you ain't gonna be that far. Even if the EU were to achieve complete energy independence, however, it would hardly change the crux of Europe's security problem, which is its over-reliance on diplomatic and economic soft power at the expense of military hard power. European elites who take pride in viewing the EU as a post-modern superpower have long argued that military hard power is illegitimate in the 21st century. Unfortunately for Europe, Russia, along with China and Iran, has not embraced EU's fantastical soft power worldview in which climate change the EU's lack of hard power deterrent has emboldened Putin to the point where he is unable to run Russia in Crimea and Ukraine with impunity, and evidently there's not much your soft power can do about it. Slucky, 1 second. Yeah, it's lucky for that. But yeah, you can see the weaknesses in Europe, man. Okay, and you know the divisions that are in Europe right now and in NATO. Okay, they're weak, and they're not able to impose their authority against Russia, because Russia is not a small power, man. Okay, Russia's a superpower as well. Maybe not as big as the United States, but you know, big enough, man, to deter anyone to really fuck with it. Okay. Like I said, all these divisions, man. When World War III comes along, man, like to its heights, okay, people are going to be wondering that the tie that they have with NATO and the US, man, is it really worth it? Okay, and you know, just like in history, man, you know, in World War II, World War I, you know, people switch sides, man, to save their interests, man, because no nation wants to be destroyed, man. Everybody wants to be on the winning team. But when other nations smell blood and there's the chance of them losing, okay, some people lack integrity, man, and you know, switch sides. But that's what's gonna happen, man, because that's prophesied to happen as well. Okay, we're gonna get Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. But you know, the cracks have already started happening for that to happen. Okay, this is 1 and 7. So all the men of thy confederacy, okay, have brought thee even to the border, brought you to the war. Okay, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. Okay, so all your allies that you know you do brothers in arms and that to combat a common enemy. Okay, they ain't gonna care about that. Okay, they're gonna deceive you. Okay, when they get ready to cut ties with the US, man. Okay, that'll be it. And prevailed against thee, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, because that'll be the time that they laid that wound, man, and cut you off. Okay, first off, it'll be NATO cutting off America. Okay, because America's a burden. Okay, but even amongst the NATO nations, the European nations, man, there's going to be infighting, man. There's going to be parts of Europe that are going to be fighting with Russia. You know, they're going to turn their backs on NATO, man, because they feel Russia offers the better future, man. Because there ain't no future if you ain't surviving, man. If you think Russia provides a better protection than the rest of the NATO nations, then these guys will flip sides to ensure that happens, okay, that they survive. Okay, there's going to be a lot of treachery going on. Okay, so they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, there is none understanding in him. Okay, so a lot of skullduggery is going to be going on, man. Okay. So lucky bros. I said I was going to read this article, man, but I forgot to read it in the video, so I'm just adding it onto it now. Okay, you'll see that. But yeah, I'll just continue on from the video, man. Okay, this is from the Spiegel, you know, DE, which is the German newspaper. Okay, it says Germany's choice: would it be America or Russia? Okay, because Germany itself, okay, that's a pretty powerful nation, man. Okay, one of the main powers in Europe. Okay, and they're divided between the relationship between Russia and America. Okay, but they share ties with both. But you know, the situation with America is not ideal. And you know, in light of this Ukraine thing and all these problems that have been stirring up with Russia, man, you know, that their relationship